Soul to soul, feel the rhythm flow. Heart wide open, let your spirit glow. With Artie Hoffman, now you know. Soul to soul, let's go.
Everybody, this is Artie Hoffman, Soul to Soul with Artie, and I am blessed and happy to have my lovely assistant,
I am
hostess,
so happy to be here as
awesome
usual.
friend, Esther
Yes.
Brzezinski.
Yeah,
Love her
in
so
the
much I can't
house.
stand it. So we have a dynamite chemistry going on here, and we both decided we got to do this podcast, and just magic happened, and it happened, and it seriously, between you and the studio, it just way surpassed
We
my
are at
expectations.
760 Media Studios in Montreal, 760 de Carrie. It is outstandingly
Beyond
gorgeous.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's as professional as you're going to get. They're in downtown Montreal.
No, not downtown.
Oh, it's not downtown Montreal?
It's downtown Ville Saint Laurent, actually.
The
Yeah, he's from, Artie's from New Jersey, so you'll
That's
have to
right.
excuse him.
home of French onion soup, French
Yeah, so
fries,
they
and
have
French bread.
3 podcast studios. I think there's 7 recording studios. There's a
Really?
party room. There's a
We're gonna
photo
party.
studio. I mean, they've got everything all in one location, and it's really amazing. So if you're interested in doing your own podcast, we don't want competition. No kidding. No, absolutely. Get in touch with 760
If you need
Media.
a professional A1 plus recording studio or podcast studio, we're not just saying this to be kind. It is 100% class A, first class. On a 1 to 10, it's a 12.
Yeah.
Amazing. It really is. And what's the name of the location again?
760 Media, 760.
That's this place, yeah.
de Carrie in
Right.
Ville Saint Laurent, Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
And the owners are very professional and also
They're amazing.
extremely personable.
Yeah.
So you'll be taken care of like 100%.
Yeah. And Mr. Artie Hoffman here is
That would be me.
psychic medium, doing this for 35 years.
I've been doing it for how many years? At least 35 years.
And he's seen over 30,000
I
people.
have.
He's done that many readings. He does parties. He does individuals. He's also an author of Angels and Answers and Have Your Angels Call My Angels, available on Amazon. And he, he can help you in many aspects of your life. We had a reading earlier today, and he told me some incredible stuff about myself.
Yes,
And
for you to look forward to.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. And, we had talked in the past about what is the subject that people most often ask you about. And it's usually about love relationships.
It is.
Yeah. So my question, what do you think the biggest mistake people make in dating today?
Talking about their past relationships.
Oh my God, guilty as charged.
Yeah, too much too soon. They turn their moments with their new date or new friend, whatever you want to call them, and they turn into a therapy session, and or they spend time bashing their spouse rather than just being in the moment, enjoying the moment. What else do people do? That's a big no-no. Being on your cell phone.
Oh my God. That
Being on
happens
your
all the
cell
time.
phone
Yeah.
while you're with the person. I mean, granted, if you have an emergency, that's a different situation. Under emergency situation, whether it be with work or whether it be, dealing with kids or whatnot, you do want to be accessible in case, God forbid, something happens.
Can I tell you something that happened?
Please.
I was on a coffee date with someone, and I put my phone down like this. And I was told that it looked like I was hiding something because my phone was not upright. So, you just, you try your hardest not to be distracted. And then by doing that, there's suspicion of, you don't want me to see your notifications. You don't want to see,
No, first of all, it's none of their business.
Yeah, but
First of all,
I
it's none of
did
their-
it out of politeness. I turned my phone over
Right.
so that I wouldn't be distracted.
So in case that does happen with you, then, and you do want to make see, she was just trying to tell the person that she was with, I'm picking this up intuitively, I don't think I'm wrong, is that my attention's on you. It's not about the phone or anything.
Exactly.
So under those circumstances, so for future reference, you put the phone in your pocketbook or put it within your jacket or someplace where it can't be seen so that it's just about you. What I also do as a polite gesture, because I had a situation happen to me, over 20 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
But I took a female friend out. We weren't even dating. We took a female friend out.
Okay.
And I needed to use the restroom.
Okay.
And I took a little longer than I anticipated. And I come back and she had an attitude with me. And we were like best of friends. We were like Jerry and Elaine Seinfeld. It was like, like, what's the big deal? Why are you so upset? And she goes, oh, Artie, she goes, I know you were talking to some other girl and you're in there for so long. And, that was so rude. And I said, no, I didn't. I said, you want to look at my texts? You want to see my phone? And because I was willing to prove myself, she's like, no, get away. No, I don't want to see. And so what I do, believe it or not, what I do in case a situation, I purposely leave my phone on the table and I go to the restroom.
That's a good idea.
So I don't let anyone think that I have anyone else that I wanted to talk to.
That is, I have had that situation in a long-term relationship that they would go to the washroom and take their phone with them.
Yeah.
So
And
that's a red flag.
So yeah.
That's a
So
red flag.
and yeah, but sometimes no, some people. Again, I'm just going to say it's different for everybody because some people, their phones are attached to their ass or to their ear or whatever, no matter what.
For me, it's my wrist.
And it's their security blanket, so they don't want to leave it, open and available. And it's not like anyone can look at it because you have a passcode you have to know to get into it.
That's true.
So, I mean, unless if somebody happens to text you in the moment, you say, oh, who's it? But at the same token, it's none of your damn business. So if you just left it down, face down, and you walked away, so it's not facing out, you walked away and you went and did your business in the bathroom or whatever. But yeah, so that's what I do. I leave my phone on the table and I just want whoever I'm with just to know that I have nothing going on. Or that there's somebody or something more important than them. It's like when I do readings. When I start a reading, I'll say, I can't do it 100%. I can't say 100% of the time, but I will say 98% of the time. I do put my phone on vibration. I put it to the side and I look at the person. I go, all right, you have my full-time love and attention. It's all about you.
As it should be.
Yeah. And so, because they're paying me for my time. So, but regardless, just out of respect. So I just let somebody know that they are the most important thing to me in that moment. So whether it be for professional reasons or whether it be for personal reasons, I feel like that's exactly the healthy thing to do. With Esther and I, we're a little different. We have a relationship. She could be on the phone. She could be talking to some other guy. I could be talking to whatever girl. I could be doing business. But like we don't have that kind of...
Because we're not in a romantic relationship.
Right. So
That's
girls, remember that. Even though we look like we're together, I'm like kidding. Even though I love this girl to death.
People think that we are, but we're not. We're very good friends.
Right. We're very close friends. We are like Jerry and Elaine.
Yeah,
Seinfeld.
very much so.
Very much so.
And
that's the way it is.
we can be so open with each other because there's no expectations.
Right.
There's no like, oh my God, if he doesn't do this, that means he doesn't that. And oh my God, if he's on the phone with, there's none of that.
No, it's a very cool relationship and I feel very blessed and I tell her I love her all the time.
Yeah.
But it's meant from the right light. It is. And some people have a hard time. So I have to express something.
Please do.
I have to express something about relationships.
Okay.
So, it's very easy for you to say, I love you to a friend. It's very easy, well, on the most part, maybe some of you have a hard time saying I love you, period. But like when I'm with my friends, I have no problem with saying I love you. When I'm with my family, with my daughter, I have no problem saying I love you. When it comes to if you're in that in between stage, when you're dating someone, sometimes I love you might be a hard nut to crack, unless if you're on the same wavelength with each other. And the reason why I say that is because I was in a situation where I did love the person who I was dating, but I wasn't in love with her. But I did love her. I told her, I love her. I love you. I appreciate you. But I purposely would not say I love you because I didn't want to give her the inclination
Yeah. And
that
you're
I'm in
dating
love with
her,
you.
yeah.
But I did care about her and we had a great
Was she in
time.
love with you?
I feel like she was. Yeah, I
Okay.
feel like she was. But I didn't want to be, I didn't want to come across as a jerk and just give her wrong impressions. But I mean, I thoroughly enjoy her company. She's definitely a great person. And, we have a lot of fun together. I mean, in so many ways. But did I fall? And I don't know why. To this moment, I still don't know why.
Do you think there should be a cutoff time? Like after 3 months, if you're not in love, move on?
Yes, I feel like after 3 years, once that happens,
I think that it is only fair. It is only fair for the other individual if you think that they might be falling in love with you and you're not in love with them and you will never be in love with them. I think it's only fair for you to stop it before the other person gets too deep. Because I know it could be convenient. I know it could be lovely and wonderful and fun, but it's a sticky situation. I'm just putting that out there.
Describe sticky.
I'm not judging. Oh God, let's not go there. I'm not judging. I'm just saying that I personally don't think it's right. That if you are dating someone and after 3 months, you just know you're not gonna be in love with this person.
Yeah, but want to know something? But she knew, given our personal circumstances behind the scenes and everything going on in my life and in her life, it was cool for a while. And then all of a sudden she wanted more. And that's why we ended up parting ways. Because
how long was that?
From
how long were you seeing each other before that happened?
Believe it or not, I think it was like I was joking around when I said it to you before, but I really mean it. 3 years. It was about.
Wow.
Yeah, it was about at least.
Yikes.
Yeah, at least 3 years. But and I was fine with it, and we had a great time, and and we did lots of fun things together.
I'm sure she was in love with you.
And,
sure.
Yeah.
Between 3 to 5 months, I would say by 5 months, you pretty much know if you're in love with someone.
And I always felt bad, and I know what she wanted, and I get it. I get it. Am I like that all the time? No, I'm definitely not, because I am a relationship guy.
You are.
And I love love. I love being in love. I have no problem with saying I love yous in the right, in the right premise of things. I am. I have no problem with expressing love, being loved. It's great. And what about you with that?
Well, what do you mean? What about me?
What do you mean about this? What do you mean? I don't know. He meant nothing. I don't know. What are you talking about?
I cannot be with someone more than 3 months. If I am not feeling it, I will not continue.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay.
I can't. And the very first time I fell in love actually took me 5 months with my ex-husband.
Okay.
And I think I kind of waited for him to say it first. I had been feeling it before. And so that took a while. My second big love in my life, I knew after 6 weeks. And you know what? That was probably a red flag. That maybe that I misunderstood, just an extreme attraction for love.
Mhm.
Maybe, just there was something that it was way too fast. And in the end, it didn't end well.
No, but see, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but look how long you lasted. So do I feel like it was a mistake? I don't feel like it was a mistake.
It wasn't a mistake. No, it wasn't a mistake. It didn't end well because it showed that this person could fall in love easily. He said he loved me quite quickly. And I think that ultimately this individual was in love with love. That he was in love with falling in love, with the sensation, with the dopamine, splurge that he would get, falling in love. Sustaining love was something that we worked on. And prior to being in a relationship with me, he was not able to do more than 4 or 5 years with other relationships because it would just fizzle out. Because the in love part, it's hard to sustain that level that you have at the beginning of a relationship when you're falling in love. The falling in love thing, that's hard to sustain.
Mm-hmm.
And the understanding that love can mature and change and be different, but even, stronger and deeper. And this was something that in this particular relationship, I felt I had to show this person, like, no, this can go deeper. This can be more meaningful. It doesn't have to be gaga, swoon, I want to be with you every millisecond. But so all that to say, eventually this person just was, again, looking for that dopamine hit, like just felt that, okay, that I'm not getting it anymore. I got to go look for it, because that was important for this individual. So it did not end well, because that was important to him, and because it wasn't happening as much. And relationships wax and wane. This is normal. Sometimes you fall out of love, you fall back in love, you fall out of love, this is normal. But for some people, they think you have to be at that same level that you are when you are falling in love.
See, but I like that personally. I love staying in the honeymoon stage.
Yeah, but that's not reality. It's
No,
not reality.
well, my second marriage, we were.
And how many
we were
marriages
in
did you have?
12.
Exactly.
And they were all fantastic. The next one is, I can't wait. I can't wait for the next one. No, but so no, my second marriage, I could literally say, I would say probably we were together for 11 and a half years between dating, engaged, and being married. We were together for 11 and a half years. And I could honestly say probably for the 10 of the 11 and a half years, we were in that honeymoon stage.
I was in the relationship 20 years. The first 10 years were amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so when we got to 15, it started to be a struggle.
Yeah, really.
And
Yeah,
the last
okay.
5,
A bigger struggle.
Well, there was also COVID involved. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, COVID really screwed up a lot of people's
so I can
relationships.
see being
big
in
time.
that, and I was not living with this person. We were sort of dating all the time. But
Okay.
like 2-3 days maybe here, 3 days there, but all that to say.
You know what? Dogs have it right. Dogs have
Because
it
they're
right.
not monogamous, or they
Dogs, you meet somebody, they don't care about your past. They don't care how many partners you had in the past. Dogs meet in a moment, they sniff each other, and they start humping right away. It's like, unbelievable. There's no dating sites.
There's no dating
sites
dogs.
whatsoever. It's instant chemistry. Either you're feeling it or you don't.
That is hysterical.
And then once
Imagine
they
if there
do it,
was.
it's like, all right, they don't text each other. They don't call each other. It's like, hey, I hope to see you whenever I see you. It's like, great. They don't
Imagine
care
if
how
there
many
was,
partners you've been with
That was
before.
like princess on
It's unbelievable.
princess. Yeah, my tail wags when I see, like just doing a little.
You get me all excited.
dating
My
site
tail's
for
waggling,
dogs.
and it's all exciting.
Yeah,
the dog's
yeah.
got it right.
Yeah,
It's like,
you have a point there.
free love, 1960s, 70s.
60s,
60s. Welcome to the 60s, baby.
Freudian slip.
There you go. Welcome to Woodstock, baby.
Yeah. Do you think chemistry can be one-sided?
Do I think? 100%. 100%. And
So
yeah,
how does
definitely.
that work? I thought chemistry was where you needed two souls to feel.
Oh,
that
to have the
chemistry.
perfect relationship, but how many thousands and millions of times, where one person's into a person more than the other.
Yeah,
it's
there's
chemistry.
that. There's
yeah.
that.
So there's the chemistry where one person's feeling it and the other person isn't. And there's a lot
Right.
of different dynamics. And also a problem is like if you're in a relationship and say one person is very sexual and wants to have sex and the other one's not into it. And then the partner gets really frustrated, or God forbid, if the other partner starts to find another partner because they're not getting sex and they're wanting sex from that partner and it's just not happening, or, they're just not on the same wavelength, or they're not turned on anymore, but yet they still have that teenager sexual desire. And it's like, so what do you do? So a lot of times people don't want to separate, again, because of the kids, because of the finances or whatever. And so it's very, very frustrating. Yeah, you got your toys, yada, 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 and things that you could do. Some people go to massage parlors or whatnot. But again, so a lot of times, oh yeah, he cheated on me or she cheated on me. It's like, well, did you stop having sex? Did you stop meeting their personal needs? Because there's usually a reason why somebody will start to be with someone else or start to see someone else if they're not getting it in the bedroom, and that's a big factor. I'm not saying that that's all instances, but I'm just saying that's a majority of the circumstances.
And so as of late, there's been a popularity of this sort of lifestyle where people are polyamorous, love many. And so they have like triads or quads, or they have like 3 people living together, or there's a couple and they both date outside their relationship. I mean, this is becoming more and more prevalent, especially in younger generations. What do you think about that?
I feel that once that starts, the relationship definitely has a timeline of when it's going to be over. Because there's always going to be that one person, that one partner finds where the chemistry is super strong with someone else, and then they're going to leave the other person. And I've heard a few times. Whoa.
It's
Jack.
okay, guys. Something just fell in the studio. We're okay.
Don't worry. The storm didn't get us.
Go on.
That was a spirit in the room.
Yeah, it could be. Could very well be.
What were we
Yeah, I was
just
talking about polyamory. And
Oh, yeah, as far as my feeling. So I feel like it's just a matter of time until it usually has a timeline, because there'll be one person that is definitely going to connect with someone else. And so from my personal experience of friends that I know who were like that, I was never like
really?
that.
You had friends who had that lifestyle?
Yeah. And what happened was the person who wanted to have it, the person who suggested it, whereas the other person really didn't want to, but went along with it just because their partner wanted it. The person who went along with it ended up finding someone else and left the partner who suggested it.
Wow.
And I know of about like 3 times that that's happened.
Yeah.
So it's pretty wild. So be careful about opening up Pandora's box.
Yeah, I agree.
Because a lot of people, they want to have their cake and eat it too.
It doesn't work.
And and once in a blue moon, that might work for a long time, for a while.
People. But I don't believe they're truly in love with their partners.
If you're willing to share your partner with someone else,
that's my feeling. I could be old fashioned. I could be,
I'm on the same wavelength as you are.
Okay.
Maybe, with the new generation, it's different. But from our generation, from what I believe, if you are willing to allow your partner to share that kind of intimacy with someone else, then you're not in love with them.
I agree.
So that's kind of what I'm getting with that, as far as that topic goes, but I still feel dogs got it the best.
So Artie, do you consider yourself a happy person?
On the most part, yes.
What does happiness look like to you?
What does happen? I'm looking at I'm looking at happiness. I'm looking at happiness right there.
Don't stop.
Happiness.
Don't stop.
As far as what do I look at with happiness? I don't know. I feel like I'm living out my dream as far as going after what I love to do, which is reading people and counseling. I love doing that. I'm a people person. I love entertaining, and I have entertained for many of audiences. So I love doing that. I have lots of wonderful friends. The only thing that's lacking right now in my personal life, but I'm not starving for it, is the romance part. And I'm down with romance, and when it happens, but I'm not going to force it. Mm-hmm. I feel like if it happens organically, or if I'm introduced, or I happen to be at the right place at the right time, I'm totally into it. No problem with it. But overall happiness for me personally, one of my great friends from high school, love him to death. He's a great guy. He, for the last year or two, he's been inviting me on his boat once a week to go out on the boat and chill out during the summertime. And I love it. That's one of my favorite things to do. And I get to go to concerts, and I get to go to shows, and I love entertainment. I love making people laugh. So there's a lot of wonderful things. I get to travel a bit, and I love joking around with people where when I'm putting out good energy to other people, they give it back to me on the most part. So the rapport that I get back from the public, I think, is wonderful. And I literally look at life like it's a playground. And that's why specifically I do not watch the news, and I'm not into politics, because it's way too negative and it's nothing that I have control over. So I choose not to worry about it. Not that it's not important, but if something is that important, then the news is going to find its way to me from other friends who watch the news or listen to that bull crap.
No, I understand what you're saying. You're not alone in that. There are other people who just
so as far as do I find myself happy, on the most part, yeah. And thank God, most of all, I have my health.
Yes.
If you don't have your health,
important.
then you don't have crap, So, and it's just with a relationship, you could love somebody at a 9, 10, but if you don't have trust in a relationship, you don't have a relationship.
If you don't have trust, you don't have anything.
You don't have anything.
Yeah. No, I attest to that.
But I trust you. Don't worry.
Darling, I trust you.
Don't worry, I trust you. No problem. I know that other guy meant nothing to you, so.
Yeah. Do you think that souls recognize each other instantly? Do you think that?
When they cross over to the other side?
No, but when they're
yes.
meant to be together.
Yeah, it's a chemistry. Sometimes it's, not sometimes, a lot of times it's just out of lust. A lot of people get attracted to one another because of the physicality.
Right.
You know, there are times where somebody might be pretty damn good looking, the other person's average looking, but because they share in a common denominator, whether it be with work or whether it be a topic about anything, they make each other feel good. Sometimes someone's personality makes them look even that much better. And so the chemistry is great. You know why? Especially at first, because I'm not mixing my personal problems and issues with you, and you're not mixing your personal problems and issues with me, and we're just dealing with dessert. So when a relationship just starts or there's an affair going on, people are just dealing with dessert in a relationship. So of course it's going to taste sweet and it's going to taste really good. And of course you're going to want more and then go back for more because it tastes good, because you're not tainted by all the other financial issues, health issues, family issues. You know, there's a lot of issues and tissues involved.
Yeah, that's funny.
You know, so, you know, there's that chemistry, and it will continue for as long as it continues. Again, every relationship has its own merit, and sometimes it could last for years, where both people are married and they're seeing each other on this down low, or one person's married, one person's not, and they both understand each other's position. And so it kind of works for them. But then what happens is that a lot of times the person who is available and the other person who's still married, what happens is that the person that's available say, well, when are you going to leave? When are you going to leave? Well, I've been patient. And then during the holidays and birthdays and other occasions, you know, the other person has to take care of their responsibilities. And then the other person starts feeling slighted, and they go, well, this isn't working for me. And then they get agitated, and then they're still staying in the relationship because they don't want to lose that sexual chemistry. Or
why would you be in a relationship if you're single with someone who's married? And like, I find that so, I'm sorry. I'm maybe I'm a little old fashioned, but it's very unethical. And if you're married and if you have a person on the side, why don't you just leave your situation, leave your companion,
because of kids and because
wife.
Of finances. That's why.
So then don't do what you're doing.
No, you're talking about morals, and morally, you're 100% right. Realistically, it doesn't flow, but morally, you're 100% right. I'm not arguing with you on what you're saying at all. But a lot of people do only like to go with married people because then they don't have to be worried about commitment, because then they're not afraid of having to be committed. So they allow themselves to be with the
but that's also, I mean, you are participating in someone's infidelity. You are participating in,
you're 100% right.
Betrayal. And that is, not only morally, I mean, it's humanly wrong. I mean, it's selfish, and it's completely void of any kind of like human sensitivity. I just
always understand something. Yeah. Emotions always rule over logic. So right now, right now, you're talking everything logically. And logically, I 1000% agree with you. According to the 10 Commandments, and logically, 100% agree with you. But emotionally, the ego wants what it wants. And if you are starving for love, and there's somebody who's emotionally willing to be with you and share that quality intimacy with you, and you both feed each other that romance, that love, that excitement.
Then you changed your situation so that you can do it freely, because
you're back to being logic.
No, I'm not being logical. I am someone who has been on both sides. So I can tell you very frankly that, I know what it's like to be on the side that you're talking about, where you just go with your lust and your love and you don't care, or on the other side where I've been horribly betrayed. And I have learned, having been on the other side, if you're not happy, do something about it. Either work on your relationship or leave the relationship. But to do that, to betray the person you're with, it is, if you knew what the other person would go through, if you understood what betrayal trauma is and how toxic it is for you and how painful and hurtful and damaging this is not bruises, these are scars for life. This is a complicated trauma. So I don't think, and I would never have thought that had I not gone through it myself. So I just wanted to, but that's just my opinion. It's just my opinion.
Right. So what I'm saying to you simply, when emotions are high, smarts and intelligence goes right out the window. So like I said to you, from a logical human point of view, what I'm saying is I 100% understand your perspective. But when you're emotionally starving, like you could say, listen, you should never steal, but I have no money and I need to eat. It's not right to steal, or you should work, or you should whatever. But when you're hungry in the moment and you have kids to feed or whatever, there are a lot of people who unfortunately do things they normally wouldn't do unless if they're put under very harsh circumstances.
Well, then you change your situation so that
logically, again, you're 100%.
It's not logic. It's to avoid the hurting of the other people involved.
I understand.
Yeah. And yeah, we're all human. We all make mistakes. Like I said, I've been on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
We all make that mistake. But I can tell you, having been on both sides, like I said before, the devastation being on the receiving side of betrayal, it is beyond anything I ever would have imagined. And I've learned from my research that it is very commonplace. And people don't talk about it enough. People do not talk enough about what it can do to an individual. And it takes years to recover. Years.
I'm understanding everything you said. I'm just explaining why people do what they do.
No, I know why, of course.
And that's all I'm saying. I understand why people choose the choices that they do.
Yeah.
But I'm not, you make it sound like I'm disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I said to you, I understand, and that's from the logical point of view. I understand everything you're saying, and I'm not denying anything you're saying. All I'm saying is, from an emotional point of view, I understand why people do what they do without judgment. I'm not judging them.
I'm totally judging them.
Yeah. But that's
totally,
yeah,
absolutely judging them.
That's right. So you could judge, and nobody should judge anybody why they are the way they are.
But they absolutely should be judged.
Right. So what happens if you have no money coming in because you're totally dependent on your spouse and you have kids and there's no money, you have no family or female support whatsoever, and your partner is abusing you, and you still choose to stay there.
Absolutely no self-respect.
Right.
I would rather be penniless and have my self-respect as opposed to being abused by some toxic individual who treats me like crap.
And when you're emotionally abused throughout your whole life, you don't understand what normal is. And so other people will I'm just explaining why people do what they do.
Yeah. No, I understand.
You have to understand, I'm not debating you at all. I'm explaining to you.
Debating with you.
No. No, because everybody has their reason why they do what they do.
I totally get it. Like I said,
that's what
both
I'm saying.
sides. I get it totally, 100%.
You know, so it is what it is. But like I said, when emotions are high, you're going to go after what it is that feeds your heart, that feeds your soul. You're going to do it when you're starving enough. And there are people who 1,000% has told me, oh, Artie, I would never do that. What I just said to them when I saw them with another person or having an affair, I would never do that. And sure enough, they ended up doing it. And they're the ones that are on your side, and they gave all their logical reasons. And
I don't think my reasons are logical. I think my reasons are from experience,
you're
from well-documented.
You're misunderstanding what I mean by logical.
No, I'm not misunderstanding. I know what you mean by logical. I know what the word means.
From a rational, logical point of view.
I'm also talking from my heart and my gut.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah. I understand what it's like to feel that you're starved for love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you're in that, that's how you're feeling, you either go to therapy or you leave the situation.
Logically, you're 1,000% right.
So you're talking about a lack of impulse control as opposed to logic. This is what you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about emotional survival.
No, you're talking about emotional weakness. It's not survival, it's weakness.
Yeah, but people do things, not just with relationships, with anything. People out of survival do things out of weakness, but it's a survival mechanism. So in other words,
but a lot of these people who
let me
have
ask you
these
something,
affairs, they're not. This is not for survival. This is just for weakness.
so let me
It's just weakness.
so
That's
let me
all it
ask you
is.
something. So would you call yourself a killer? Are you a killer?
No,
But if somebody came into your house and threatened you and your child,
self-defense.
exactly. But
It's
still,
not the same as cheating.
no. I'm putting logic
Okay.
into this. So you're saying, according to you,
To protect.
I could never kill someone else. You said you're not a killer, but under certain circumstances, sometimes
Yeah,
you,
but it's apples and oranges. You
No,
cannot
sometime-
compare.
no, but it's still according to the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not kill.
Right.
So when your ass is on the line,
That's
right.
different. You can't compare
but what I'm
protecting
saying,
your
but this is
child
what I'm saying.
to screwing your secretary. You know, like, I'm sorry.
But I'm saying it's an emotional. It's still something based on emotions.
Well, it's weakness, in my opinion.
It is a weakness.
But you know what? We can agree to disagree, and that's cool. That's great. We
That's
have our
really
own
good.
point of view.
We
which shows
do.
that-
We
that
do.
shows that we both have.
We do.
We're individuals, and,
like
we
I
have
said,
our own feelings.
It's not my intentions to debate you at all.
No, I enjoy
And-
the debate.
and
I
like-
think it's healthy to debate.
But like I said to you, I agree from your perspective why you feel and think the way you do. I honor that. I'm just explaining why people do what they do. You're judging them and saying how it's wrong, and I'm just saying why they do what they do.
I'm saying that there are alternatives. I'm saying that it happens. People.
Of course there's alternatives. Alternatives to everything and anything.
I'm saying that, yes, you can definitely be attracted to other people and think about wanting to be with them. And that's human. I'm not judging you for wanting someone else. But if that's the case, look at your situation and think about the consequences. And maybe you either try to work out the situation that you're in or you leave the situation. That's all. But having those feelings for another person, that's human. And we can love one person and sort of kind of love somebody else and have attractions. That's, you know, I don't even know if we are basically normally monogamous. I don't even know if that's a natural state for us. That's something that sort of was put on us. But if we're going to make that commitment, like, try to honor it. And if it's not working out, then be honest about it. Instead of suddenly going off and, you know, finding other people. Just be, if you're unhappy, talk about it.
You also have to understand from an emotional point of view,
Yeah.
when you're a child growing up and one of your parents cheated on each other, or maybe they both cheated on one another,
Right.
or whatnot, and you're growing up with that understanding about relationships because nobody was loyal to anybody. So everything is a learned behavior or why they do what they do.
So they cheat because their daddy cheated or their mommy cheated?
Yeah, because it was a learned behavior, and
And then they see the
and I'm just
consequences
saying-
of it,
I'm
and then
just
they see
saying-
how much it
No,
hurt
but
everybody?
but they deal with the consequences and they justify it. It's just like alcoholics or druggies.
Yeah, but alcoholics, it's a physiological thing. It's there. It's there in your body.
Everybody makes all choices in life based out of emotions. All choices are based out of emotions.
Yes, but you can't just allow emotions to get the best of you, because the path that leads up to that is devastating to those.
Of course it is.
Those in that path. And listen, this is just my opinion.
I agree with you.
Yeah, it's
I
just my
agree with
opinion.
the consequences and all that. I agree with you. Well, again, all I'm saying is I understand.
And I
I
understand
res-
how those things
I
can happen.
respect your
Trust
point of view.
and believe when I say that. I
And all
totally
said-
get it.
Right. And all I said was, from an emotional point of view, I understand. I didn't say I agree with it. All I say is I understand why people do what they do, but I don't judge them. And there's actually sites up there for people who do want to have affairs. There's actually
I know
a
that. There's
site.
Ashley Madison, well known,
yeah.
well known for married people.
So it's, but like I said, it's
Your mic is just, yeah.
Oh, okay. But what I was going to say, yeah, so anyway, I think we talked that one pretty well out.
Yeah, we did.
We-
That was fun.
And she was worried if we were going to have another topic to have to talk about. And this is
Well,
probably the most wildest one.
I'm glad we
Yeah.
had this discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it,
You know,
it was good.
because having gone through that myself, I'm being very honest and transparent. I did go through that, and I suffer from complicated trauma because of being betrayed horribly. I sort of feel that I need to get the message out there because I don't think people talk about it enough. So that's part of my, raison d'être, part of why I wanted to breach on the topic and dive into it the way that I did, because I honestly think that it needs more attention.
No, I agree with that. And also through group therapy.
Group therapy doesn't really help that.
Well, sometimes with, trying to get support or emotional, but also going to a counselor with, again, inner child work to help you deal with
That and a therapist.
why.
and
Well, yeah. So it all helps
psychologist.
to overcome
Yeah.
it. Guess what? And other people, regardless of what we say, they're still going to do what they do because it works for them. And sometimes I tell people, sometimes you just have to play it out and figure out how it's all going to play itself out. Some people are willing to pay the consequences regardless and roll the dice. And other people are going to say, nah, this isn't good enough for me anymore.
I've been on dating sites where I have started to talk to a man only to find out that they're married. Now, you would say, well, why don't you just stop talking to him and block him? Well, I don't. What I do is I point out to him what he's doing, find out why he's doing it, and I try to tell him, do you understand the consequences of what you're doing? It never works. No matter what I say, no matter what I do,
Exactly.
They think I'm just, well, who are you to judge me?
Exactly.
Or
That's what I was telling you.
I like your spunk. Do you want to meet later? Like these are the
Right,
two
because
sides of
it's
what
all
I get.
based on their emotions.
They don't care. They just don't care. So and I've tried, and I realize it's ridiculous
Of course.
that I can't. There's
You're
nothing
not
I
gonna
can do or
change the
say
world like that.
because they have to go through the process. However, one or two did have second thoughts. I'm not going to lie, there were, but I think it was important. I almost felt like I was like a crusade, that it was important for me to speak my mind about it. And it's unbelievable how many married or coupled people go on these sites for single people, not an Ashley Madison where married people go, or a Field, FEELD, where people go who have certain sexual
I'm sorry, what's that
kinks.
number?
Yeah. FEELD. Yeah. These were like regular sites where you assume that you're going to be speaking to someone who's single like yourself. And it's very misleading, and it's shocking. I mean, I got off all the sites. I was very, very
You want to
disappointed
know what
at
you
the kind
remind
of
me
people.
of? You remind me of, and again, you remind me of somebody who's willing to confess their sins to a priest, and the priest starts to judge the person as the person is trying to openly admit about what they're doing. And the priest is saying, oh, you shouldn't do that, or that's not right, or, whatever. I'm not here to get, to be judged by you or to be ridiculed by you. You're supposed to be a man of God. And I mean, granted, I'm Jewish, so, we just go directly, we cut out the middleman and just go directly to the top.
That's very true, by the way.
So, but there are plenty of ministers or priests out there that will judge somebody when somebody is going there to try to confess, and it's like, and it's wrong.
They're not
It's
supposed to
100%
judge.
wrong. They're supposed to be just listening, say you're forgiven, you're forgiving, and then that's it. But what happens, unfortunately, a lot of times, people go to confession, they get the blessings of the priest, and then they go out and do it again.
Yeah,
because they feel like they clean the slate,
Yeah,
and so
that's
let me do it again.
Exactly.
I could always
They're-
get a
they're
clean slate.
cleansed. Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah.
the well,
Hallelujah.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Hallelujah.
I'm Jewish as well, so I'm not as familiar. So I don't really know how that goes down.
It's funny. So one of my friends said to me one time, I said, so where are you going? He goes, believe it or not, he goes, I'm going for confession. I go, tell me all your sins. I'll forgive you. I go, let bygones be bygones. I says, that's what I said to him. I said, just tell me whatever's bothering you, whatever's on your mind, I'll forgive you.
That's funny.
It's good. I'll have a talk with God and be well. Just don't do the same shit again.
So, Artie, you know what time it is?
It's time to say, I love you. It's been a wonderful day. It's been a wonderful evening.
It has.
And I thank you very kindly for joining me here tonight.
Oh, my God.
Thank you
It's
very
my
much.
pleasure. Are you kidding?
And had a great time as always.
Yeah, me too. Thank you guys for joining Soul to
And
Soul
I
with
wanna
Artie.
Thank you. And please subscribe
Please.
And please tell all your friends. And even people who aren't your friends, tell them too. And we thank you and we love you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Take care. Have a good night.
Soul to soul, feel the rhythm flow. Heart wide open, let your spirit glow. With Artie Hoffman, now you know. Soul to soul, let's go.